A shelter-in-place warning in Creola was lifted this afternoon. Residents were told to stay inside this morning after a chemical leak.
Highway 43 closed for hours and people sought treatment at the hospital for exposure.
These are images of an orange cloud taken after nitric acid spilled from a tanker truck earlier today.
My understanding is when that particular chemical mixes with water, it can turn into a vapor and become more of a gas, which would be potentially toxic to breathe. So the rain doesn't help with that portion of it.
Mobile County Emergency Management Agency Director Mike Evans says multiple people had to be medically treated due to possible exposure.
The last count I heard, there was probably around 8 to 10, and I know maybe 4 were transported and the other 5 or 6 self-reported, drove themselves in their own vehicle.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, nitric acid exposure can burn your skin and eyes, irritate your nose and throat, and inhaling it can irritate your lungs. The CDC says it's used in many industries to manufacture fertilizers, dyes, and explosives, and is also used to etch and clean metals. Evans explains how the leak may have occurred.
It sounds like there was a transfer of a chemical from one truck to another, or maybe a truck to a tank. And somewhere in the process of that transfer is when the leak started.
The initial call into EMA came at 10:20 this morning. A shelter-in-place order was issued for residents in a 2-mile radius around Highway 43 and Radcliffe Road for nearly 3.5 hours. Both north and southbound lanes on Highway 43 were closed as Saraland Fire Hazmat and Creola Fire stopped the leak and started cleaning up.
State troopers opened the northbound lanes of Highway 43 for both northbound and southbound traffic shortly after 3 this afternoon. We also now know that 4 people were taken to the hospital from the scene this morning, including the driver of the truck, 1 first responder, and 2 workers at the site.